Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Ipshita Bansal from BPS Women's University, Sonipat, Haryana. Today we will be discussing about the module HR Strategy Options of the paper Strategic Human Resource Management. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the concept of human resource strategy, the key dimensions and advantages of human resource strategy. There is no great strategy, only great execution. So, for strategy implementation, execution is the most important aspect. With the changing dynamics, the HR functions are becoming more strategic in nature. There is greater need for HR strategy. HR strategy means accepting HR function as a strategic partner in the formulation of the company's strategies as well as in the implementation of those strategies through HR activities such as recruiting, retaining, motivating, rotating and rewarding personnel. Strategy formulation. Strategy formulation is concerned with making decisions with regard to defining the organization's vision and mission, establishing long and short range objectives to achieve the organization's vision and selecting the strategy to be used in achieving the organization's objective. Strategy implementation. Strategy implementation is concerned with aligning the organization structure, systems and processes with the chosen strategy. It involves making decisions with regard to matching strategy and organizational structure and providing organizational leadership pertinent to the strategy and monitoring the effectiveness of the strategy in achieving organization's objective. Implementing change of strategic dimensions is likely to involve persuading employees to make changes in their working styles and methods. HR strategy greatly recognizes HR's partnership role in the strategizing process to achieve organizational excellence in all respects through a highly committed and competent workforce, preferably in a non-union environment. HR strategy as a tool for organizational excellence leads to new order of things, a change in the organization's HR functions, structure, systems and the overall attitudes of people. A change analysis directs the HR strategy, formulation and execution to incorporate the appropriate processes in tune with the change. That is why it is said HR strategy is dynamic strategy, a strategy where each year the evolution cycle needs to be repeated or maybe after a few years burn down to look at things afresh. Developing an effective HR system that is compatible with organizational strategy is critical for the functioning and success of a firm in competitive business arena. The increasing complexity of contemporary corporate life has elevated the importance of shedding traditional beliefs that were the concerns of personnel managers and to shape newer mindsets, proactive attitudes and professional identities, orientations that have placed greater emphasis on the utilization of human resources. In addition, it may be worthwhile to examine the possible interactions among these factors that may have an impact on the performance of a firm. Traditionally, the HR department was viewed as an entity that served the role of staffing, compensating and training of personnel. With the increasing importance of human resources in modern business, the management of people is considered to be strategic. This means a systematic and long-term view needs to be taken in the management of human capital so as to enhance the organizational competitiveness. Indeed, the HR plans and systems need to be developed on the long-term plan for the firm, and when of a high quality, the HR system will feature the internal consistencies of various HR practices. This is onerous for establishing the strategy to be compatible as well as internally consistent with the HR system, or SHRM initiatives are challenged at various levels. Encouraging high trust ideologies to seed collaborative workplace relations will require the attention and support of top management towards HRM at the corporate level. Expertise of managers in both business and HR functional area, and a culture acknowledging the importance of HR as well as facilitating the effective implementation of HR activities. So, let's now understand what are the key dimensions of human resource strategy. HR strategy is the strategy adopted by an organization which aims at integrating an organization culture, its employees and system by coordinating a set of actions to get the required business goals. Therefore, it must be aligned to organization's mission, vision and goals. The characteristics of the industry in which the organizations are to be analyzed and its competitive advantage need to be determined for developing an HR strategy. HR strategy is formulated on the basis of external market forces, business strategy of the companies, employees, their capabilities and aspirations, corporate culture, competitive advantage of the company and various HR roles. The senior managers frequently in managing people element focus on only one or two dimensions and neglect the other people or other dimensions. When the mentioned creative or entrepreneurial flair does not appear from the employee's work, the managers blame the employees and not the system. If an organization wants to retain the quality of work, then its duties are not only to retain talented staff, but also the organization needs to be reviewed and the training and compensation benefits need to be improved in order to facilitate employees in a better manner. Key dimensions of developing HR strategy are culture, organization, people and human resource systems. So, let's understand them in a bit more detail. Culture. It is the beliefs, rules and the style of management of the organization. Organization. It is the structure, job types, job descriptions and reporting lines of the organization. People. It is the most important part of the organization. The skills level, employee potentials and capability of the management constitutes the people dimension. Human resource systems. It is the people focused mechanism which delivers the correct strategy for the organization, recruitment, communication, training, development and compensation and benefits, etc. Here we see the diagrammatic representation of how HR strategy is formulated. Initially, to start with, inputs from various departments is received. Departments like IT, marketing, finance, sales, production and R&D. All this together makes the corporate strategy. Then together with human resource mission statement, human resource analysis is done, taking inputs from organizational analysis on the one hand and environmental analysis on the other. Human resources analysis leads to human resource planning and generation of strategic options or choices in the domain of culture, organization, people and systems. So, objectives are formulated, and on the basis of that, human resources functional action plan, implementation and review and evaluation is done, which further gives feedback to organization analysis, and the cycle might get repeated. So, let us now understand the 7 steps to developing a human resource strategy. First is get the big picture. Understand the business strategy. What are the driving forces of the business? Technology, distribution, competition or the market? What is the fundamental people contribution to bottom line business performance? Second is develop a mission. This relates to the people side of the business. What do the organization's people contribute? Third is conduct a SWOT analysis of the organization. A SWOT analysis provides information that is helpful in matching the firm's resources and capabilities to the competitive environment in which it operates. Environmental factors internal to the firm can be classified as strengths and weaknesses, and those external to the firm can be classified as opportunities or threats. Focus on internal strengths and weaknesses of the employees. Consider the current skill and capability issues. Research of the external business and market environment. Highlight the opportunities and threats relating to the employees. Fourth is conduct a detailed human resources analysis. Concentrate on the organization's corps, that is culture, organization, people and system. This cannot be overstated. What gaps exist between the realities of where you are and where the organizations want to be? Fifth is determine critical people issues. Go back to the business strategy and examine it against the SWOT and COPS analysis. Try to identify where efforts and resources should be focused. Sixth is develop consequences and solution. For each critical issue, highlight options for managerial action. Generate, elaborate and create. Don't go for just the obvious. Consider the mix of HR systems needed to address the issue. Employee training and development or management development, organizational development or performance appraisal, etc. Set the targets and dates for accomplishments. Seventh is the implementation and evaluation of the action plan. The ultimate purpose is to ensure that the objectives set are mutually supportive so that the reward and payment systems are integrated with employee training and career development. So, let us now discuss the advantages of human resource strategy. The HR strategy is an important unifying item in human resources. The employees love to work when they understand what is the goal of their effort, and not just the goal of the day, but when they understand the whole concept. They can support it and they can find their own improvements every day. The managers can expect the improved services with an exact timeline and they can be patient. The HR strategy development is a good opportunity to analyze the current status of human resources in the organization. As the team prepares the analysis of the HR processes, measures the processes and prepares the internal HR SWOT analysis, the HR manager has a perfect overview of the HR function in the organization. On the other hand, the HR manager has to invite the most important internal clients to participate in the preparation of initial HR analysis. The internal clients usually appreciate that they are invited and they can influence the final result as they see the HR internals, and they can expect to see the successful implementation at their team level. The HR strategy can unify the HR team when everyone is respected and the people are pushed to respect the rules of the game. No one can be more important. All the ideas have to be recorded and they have to be evaluated during the team meetings, as the employees can see how important they are. The HR strategy should be presented to managers from different units in the organization, and they can contribute to the process of HR strategy development with the usual feedback. The HR managers should welcome the feedback, and the main messages should be fully incorporated into the HR strategy, as the managers can see their contribution was not useless. The written HR strategy helps the management to monitor the implementation and the progress in individual initiatives. The HR strategy has to be divided into the individual yearly KPIs, that is, key performance indicators, and the management can easily report the progress to the rest of the organization. So, what are the advantages of human resource strategies? Adopting an HR strategy that is concerned with the organization's larger mission and goals has multiple advantages and benefits for the company in many ways. First is helps evaluate HR policies. The premise of strategic HRM is that the company's policies and procedures related to employees should fit into the organization's broader strategic plan. Developing these links between HR and strategy has the distinct advantage of helping the organization to evaluate its current HR policies and to replace outdated or inefficient policies with ones that promote a better workplace environment and employee relations. As the company evaluates its HR policies, it can use the strategic plan's aims and objectives to evaluate each HR process. Those that fall out of the strategic vision can be reformulated or discarded in favor of better ones. Second is team building. Strategic HRM also helps to foster a sense of team spirit and camaraderie within the organization. A company's strategic vision will ideally rely on input from a broad range of stakeholders, including managers, employees, customers, and investors. Creating an HR strategy that aligns with this sense of open communication can have the major benefit of helping stakeholders feel like their opinions are valued and meaningful to the company's owners and executives. Third is helps monitor progress. While the strategic vision of the company can influence the creation and evaluation of HR policies, the reverse can also be true. Human resources can help the organization monitor its progress towards achieving its stated goals and objectives in the strategic plan. Much of the strategic plan is likely to rely on the cooperation and support of employees and individual departments or functions within the organization. HR has a key role to play in making sure that all of these components of the strategic HR plan are implemented in a timely and effective manner. Fourth is keep the organization legal. A final advantage of the human resource management strategy is in keeping the organization compliant with laws relating to employees, salary, insurance, and the like. The laws and policies governing business are complex and can vary between jurisdictions, but HR has a key role to play in making sure that the organization's strategic plan is not only presently legal but is also amendable enough that it can adapt to changing times and changing legal circumstances. What are the objectives of HR strategy? To use various mechanisms to build healthy two-way communication, to screen out potential managers whose values are not people-oriented, to provide highly competitive salaries and pay for performance incentives, to guarantee to the greatest extent possible for fair treatment and employment security for all employees, to institute various promotion from within activities aimed at giving employees every opportunity to fully utilize their skill and gifts at work. So, Henry Mintzberg says, strategy is not the consequence of planning, but the opposite. It is the starting point. Michael Porter says, the essence of strategy is choosing what not to do. So students, let's now summarize what we have studied in this module. The globalization of individual companies and capital markets over the past several decades has changed the business landscape. HR strategy must be aligned with the organization's vision, mission, and goals. In developing an HR strategy, the company must analyze the characteristics of its industry, determine its competitive advantage, and identify key processes and key people. Frequently, in managing the people element of their businesses, senior managers will only focus on one or two dimensions and neglect to deal with the others. The pay and reward system is a classic problem in this area. Frequently, organizations have payment systems which are designed around the volume of output produced. HR strategy connects the business strategy with the efforts of human resources to build a better and competitive organization and aligns top executives with the HR team. Thank you.